So I saw this TikTok being passed around on Reddit, and someone in the video, they had just listened to Drake's newest song, What Did I Miss? And they said Drake has been dealing with fake friends for years. He has a lot of songs about mentioning it throughout his entire career. And yet he refuses to address why that is. And then the guy kind of goes on to his points. But that part really stuck with me. Not even because I fully agree with it, but because it misses the bigger picture, as haters' commentary usually does. Because two things can be true at once. So before I get into it, let's just listen to the clip so you can get an idea of where I'm coming from, and then I'll address it.
Let's bring it back up. Let's keep talking about the same repetitive mistakes. So the fact that you're still talking about this throughout your entire career means that you are the issue. So you acknowledge that your fake friends is a consistent issue that you refuse to deal with. These are your habits, Drake. These are your habits, Aubrey.
So that part had me squinting because, like I said before, two things can be true at once. Yes, Drake probably does need to reevaluate how open he's been. Like, no more freebies. That means no more free verses, giving out charity to these rappers who obviously doesn't like him. You know, no more buddy with people that he already was kind of suspecting, like he was rapping about throughout the years, that didn't really like him. There's some, our favorite word, buzzword right now is accountability. There's some accountability that he can take there. But why isn't the conversation about how foul it is to befriend someone you don't even like just to use them for your benefit? Why isn't the discussion holding both parties accountable? Like, the real problem is the fake friends. Why is the commentator, why are the people criticizing Drake not talking about the people smiling in his face that used him and then flipped this, like, the second it benefited them? Nah, that's not cool to me. And that's the part that really bugs me regarding this entire beef and the aftermath of it, is that some of these critiques feel so one-sided. Like, people act like being used isn't a thing. Like, people haven't had to learn the hard way who's really for them. I know I have. And yes, we have to take accountability for, we were naive at the time. But, when you don't know, you don't know. So all you can do is, with that new knowledge, go forward and place boundaries where you need to, and maybe take your time before you build trust with somebody that you're thinking is a friend. But why is the conversation so focused on the person that's been wronged? And you see this commentary in other angles too, like in abuse cases where there's a victim. People will say, well, why didn't that person leave, or that conversation. And it's just like, where's the empathy? Where's the empathy? And I'm going to talk about that in another video, because it does seem like we're in this space now where we're so quick to criticize and not think about, if I was in that person's shoes, how would I react? When it comes to the abuse victim, it's like, you say that, but I know with me, sometimes when I want to change my nail design or I don't like my hairstyle, I sometimes freeze before I have to speak up. So can you imagine when the stakes are higher and someone is being abusive? I just think sometimes we fail to relate to whatever the person who's being hurt, and then there's just attack mode and not thinking of the whole full picture. But we want all the grace in the world for ourselves, But that's another topic I'm going to get into. I think in Drake's case, this What Did I Miss song is very relatable because we've all had to deal with people around us that maybe weren't wanting our best interests. So it's relatable. Like, I know the goal right now for some people is they want Drake to stay in the dirt. They feel like he lost the beef. I don't agree with this, by the way, but it's how the majority feels right now. And I know that there are some people that throughout his career, they don't like him, so they're quick to do everything to critique him. And that is another thing I need to talk about, because okay, you can not like somebody, but it's at the point where everything they do, you have something to say. I think you actually like them. You secretly like them. What did they say? Like, the opposite of love isn't hate, right? It's indifference. So when you hate, it's just the same. It's on the same scale, baby. Like, you're you really just love them. You're just disguising it as hate. That's all. But anyway, I look at all of this and I think that it's a very interesting case study for like psychology professors or research, even like sociology students, to see like this entire beef and how the masses have been manipulated, or how the people were just able to kind of run with the media narrative. I think it's very interesting. I feel like if I was a college student right now and I had a last minute paper in some psychology class or something, I would be just talking about this all the time. But luckily for me and you, I'm not in college anymore, but I can definitely talk about my theories and just my thoughts and analysis on all this and how we can apply it for ourselves when we're handling other people and kind of navigating the games people play in social dynamics. And sometimes the people who hate on you are the loudest. And they're also the ones watching the closest. And low-key, that's power wrapped in a gift of critique, if you choose to see it that way. Because you can use what they say to get better. If you know yourself enough to tell what's real and what's just misplaced, like projections or shade or whatever, you can use that for your betterment. In Drake's case, yes, the critique is bad faith, saying like, oh, maybe you're the problem with all the fake friends. But he can take that and say, you know what? I need to stop being so naive. It's time. It's time I start having boundaries with the people I meet. And I start evaluating, the metrics that it takes for me to trust somebody around me. So he used that for himself. And now he's better, But on that note, go play Know Yourself by Drake. He really got an anthem for everything in life, which really might explain why these one-dimensional rappers stay mad at him, always instigating manufactured beefs against him. And if you've ever dealt with fake friends or folks who smile in your face while collecting intel, like, yes, we see you, drop a comment. This energy is unfortunately all too familiar for all of us. Thanks for tuning in. For more reflections on personal growth, intentional living, and life beyond the ordinary, make sure to hit subscribe. And you can also follow along on the blog at britneymctier.substack.com and join the Growth Inspired Tribe. So it's a space where we share grounded tools, deep insights, and soulful, good for the soul strategies to grow from where we are to where we're meant to be.